Hello, I'm Gavin Hoey and you're watching Adorama TV, brought to you by Adorama, the camera store that's got everything for us photographers. And if you've seen any of my previous videos, you may have noticed I rather like using a smoke machine. I also like working on location, so it makes sense to have smoke on location. And in this video, I'll look at 3 different types of smoke fluid to see what sort of fog effects you can get. I'm going to use thick smoke, light smoke, and fast dissipating smoke, all in the same space using the same lighting. So let's get a model in, let's get the light set, let's get shooting. So to help me out today, I've got the amazing Sophie. Sophie's going to be the model for this shoot, but let's briefly talk about the location because we've got this fantastic rundown barn, which is perfect for photography and is going to look great with some smoke. Now, there's a couple of things you need for smoke photography to really get it to come through on the shots. The first one is you need a dark background. Yep, tick, got that. And then you need to backlight the smoke for maximum effect. So up in the top corner, I've got an Explore 200. That's going to be the backlit lighting. And I've actually got a second one in the opposite corner so I can move around and still have light behind Sophie. They both got blue gels on just for a splash of color. The key light is an Explore 300. I've got it in a strip box with a grid. The lighting isn't going to change throughout this. We'll keep it the same. So let's get our first smoke lined up, which is going to be light smoke. So my smoke machine is all warmed up, ready to go. I've got light smoke fluid in here. Light smoke fluid tends to give more of a mist rather than a dense fog. It gives more of an atmospheric haze. In a room like this, which is actually an outdoor space with lots of air current blowing through, I might need to top this up with smoke every few minutes, maybe even more. What I'm going to do is pop my smoke machine down here and aim it at the back wall. So the idea is the smoke should come behind Sophie, hit the wall, and then circulate around to put some nice haze in the room. Okay, Sophie, are you ready? Okay, let's fire up the smoke machine, get some smoke down there. And I'll just give it a nice little blast like this. Okay, so this is starting to work quite nicely. I'm using my remote control. And we'll just take a few test shots like this. Okay, here's Sophie. Let's see what we get. So that's quite nice. One blast of smoke gives a nice little bit of atmospheric haze. You can definitely see there's smoke in the room, but it's not overpowering the scene. This is looking pretty good. All right, a little bit more smoke. That should do. I actually don't want to add too much smoke because although there is some ventilation, quite a lot of ventilation in here, it will take time for this to dissipate. So yeah, that's about right. So that was just 2 short blasts of smoke. We've been going for a couple of minutes and there's still a nice haze in the air, a foggy effect. So my second smoke is thick smoke or heavy smoke. It's a much denser smoke than the previous light one. It should give more texture, but I'm not going to see it unless I purge the smoke machine of the light smoke fluid. So there's always a little bit in the tube. So when you swap over smoke fluids, remember to press, hold, and clear it. And I'm pushing it this way because a minute ago, the breeze was going in that direction. Now it's going this way. I think I'll do it this way instead. Here we go. Right, let's set this up and have a go. Sophie, are you ready? Okay, great. Let's give this a blast of smoke. Give it some direction. Again, I'm going to aim it behind Sophie. And you should see straight away just how much more dense this looks. It's much more cloud-like. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, that should do us. Let's try a few shots like that. So this time I'm going to give you the chain to play with. So straight away I can see the difference between this and the previous fluid. This is much more thick, it's much more textured, it looks much more like smoke and less like haze. Okay, great. That's probably too much now, but let's go for it anyway. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, that is a lot of smoke. Wow. So after a minute or two, it's started to soften out slightly. It's lost some of its texture. It's still hanging in the air and it's starting to look a little bit more hazy. Still very, very usable though. Before I go on to the last smoke fluid, a quick word about the smoke machine I'm using. This is my favourite one. It's a Chauvet DJ Hurricane 1200 mains powered smoke machine, 1200 watts of power required. It's small, it's lightweight, it's compact. This is the one I take on location because it's a bit beat up and it just keeps on working. It has a really nice feature which I'll show you in a second because it works well with this smoke fluid. This is the fast dissipating smoke fluid, which means it's quite thick, just like the thick we used before, but it also disappears really quickly, which means it's my favourite smoke fluid in the studio because you can see what's going on very fast. It's also one of my favourites for location work where you're allowed to use smoke, but you can't have it hanging around because before you know it, it's gone. The downside with that is you do get through quite a lot of this stuff, but that's okay. We've got quite a lot of it to get through. Sophie, are you ready? Okay, let's fire it up, see how we go. Okay, so I'm going to let that run a little bit longer than I would normally, just to really get some smoke back there, because when I stop, it's already starting to disappear. Okay, here we go. Let's get some shots. That's great. And well, there we go. It's pretty much all gone already. So that didn't last long. So what I'm going to do is make use of one of the Chauvet DJ's nice features, which is I can put it on continuous smoke. If I have it on a low level of output, we can have just a little bit of smoke continuously coming out. So although this stuff dissipates very quickly, I can just have it bubbling away. I can then pop it in behind Sophie, something like this. And we can just let this build up and continue to build up through the shoot. Okay, I'll probably have to move it around as we go, but let's take a few shots like this. There we go. Okay, there we go, done. So the great thing about the fast dissipating smoke is once you're done and you switch your smoke machine off, it will disappear fairly quickly. So it's been running the entire session. And to recap, I'll use the light smoke whenever I want to have something that has a bit of atmospheric haze, heavy smoke when I really want to get that thick textured smoke that hangs in the room, and the fast dissipating whenever I need smoke that is there, has texture, and then is gone. All of the smokes have their uses depending on the look you want to achieve, and the best advice I can give you is have a supply of each so you can achieve different looks whenever you want. Now, if you've enjoyed this video or you've got any questions, leave me a comment below. Click on the bell icon and you'll never miss a video right here on Adorama TV, and we have new content, well, pretty much every single day. And of course, click on the subscribe button. I'm Gavin Hoey. Thanks for watching.